Hey guys, today is Mother's Day, so that means we're gonna be making Mama a cocktail. So today we'll be making a riff or a twist on a French 75 cocktail. Now let's get right into it, and don't forget to give Mama her flowers. Hi guys, and welcome back. Today for Mother's Day, we're gonna make a riff on the French 75 cocktail. Now the French 75 cocktail usually consists of gin, a little bit of simple syrup or some sugar, some lemon juice, topped with champagne. Now the French 75 gets its name from the kick that it got. People said that this drink had so much kick that it was like being shelled by a 75mm French shell back in the war. So this cocktail originates around 1920s is when it got its popularity. Before that, there was a very similar cocktail called the Champagne Cup, which was essentially the same thing minus the gin, and it was served on the rocks. So you had the champagne, the sugar, the lemon juice on ice, all stirred in together. Today we're gonna be making something a little bit different, but using the same concept. So if you wanna follow suit and make this cocktail with us today, first thing you're gonna need is some Ketel One Botanicals Peach and Orange Blossom. You're also gonna need some fresh grapefruit juice. We're gonna be using some honey syrup as a sweetener today. Your choice of sparkling wine, and some blackberries as well. So before we start here, let me talk a little bit about Ketel One Botanical. Ketel One is known for their fabulous vodka. It is made in the Netherlands. But Ketel One vodka is not the same as Ketel One Botanicals. So vodka is usually hovering around 40% or higher. Botanicals is at a nice low ABV of 30%. They're also distilling their fresh fruit straight into the stills, which is something that would be similar that gin does, except gin usually needs juniper berries to be determined a gin, especially in a London dry style. Now they can use citrus as well, but definitely you need that juniper flavor. What's really unique about the Ketel One Botanical is that it's not really technically a vodka and it's not a gin at all. It's essentially its own category of spirits. It's quite fragrant. I really enjoy it. This peach really comes out on the nose, really makes my mouth salivate as well. I highly recommend you give this a try, and hopefully other distilleries kind of copy this style, because it's not really a vodka, it's not really a gin, but it's damn tasty. So let's get right into making this cocktail here for Mother's Day, which we're gonna be making for Mom. We're gonna start off with the sweetener. We are using honey syrup. It's a little bit sweeter than simple syrup. We're gonna go a 1/4 ounce. The reason we're using honey syrup, we could technically be using a simple syrup if we'd like to, but I really wanted to get that earthy flavor in there, and honey just pairs very nicely with peach. So since we're using a peach spirit, it just kind of made sense to me. Then we're gonna move on to our grapefruit juice instead of the lemon juice, which you usually get in the French 75. I just wanted to try something a little bit different. Lemon goes excellent with this spirit as well. If you don't have any grapefruit juice, by all means, feel free to use some lemon. It'll work just as fine. And then of course, we're gonna go with our Ketel One Botanicals Peach and Orange Blossom. We're gonna go for a solid 1 ounce pour. We're pretty much sticking to the same metrics here, the same measurements as you would for a classical French 75. We just kind of tweaked the spirits, the citrus, and the sweetener, but at its core, it's still the same style. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna shake this up with some ice. Make sure to always use a lot of ice. And we're gonna shake this nice and vigorously. Now that your cocktail is nice and shaken, we're gonna take this and we're gonna double strain this into a champagne glass, or a flute, if you will. Get that nice and slow. Perfect. And right at this point, we're gonna add our blackberries. So we're gonna be using our blackberries as garnish. We're gonna throw them right in there. Blackberries pair very nicely with peach, which is what we're using flavor-wise here. So we're just gonna throw 1 or 2, depending on how many you wanna give Mom in here. I'm just gonna throw 1 since I do have a nice big fat one. Then we're just gonna top this up with your favorite kind of sparkling wine. Doesn't need to be anything overly expensive. I do prefer to go on the drier side, because the French 75 does have a bit of a kick, and it is a bit on a drier side. We're just gonna top that up. Let this bubble over. And here we are. We've got essentially our variation of the French 75. And if you want to add a little bit of fresh citrus to the nose, I recommend just peeling a nice piece of orange, just zesting the top, giving that a little rub. You're gonna get a nice orange aroma, which will really bring out that orange blossom that you do have in the Ketel one. And here we have it, a new Mother's Day variation of the French 75. You can name it after your mother. It doesn't have a name as of now. I was essentially just gonna call it the B75 because I'm using Botanicals in it. But really, at this point, you can name it whatever you want. If you've got a wicked name for this brilliant cocktail, leave it in the comments below. And who knows, maybe we'll see this in a cocktail book one day and it'll be named after the name you gave it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Twisted Bar Spoon channel. Hit that little bell if you're looking to get some alerts. We will be posting videos at least 4 times a month. And as soon as the coronavirus outbreak is settled down a little bit, we'll be hitting the streets, talking to people, visiting bars. A lot of cool stuff coming up. I look forward to making some more cocktails with you, teaching more about techniques, bar tools, and different types of spirits. If you have any recommendations on things that you would like to see, please leave it in the comments down below. Wishing all of you and your mothers a happy Mother's Day. Thank you for joining the Twisted Bar Spoon channel. Thanks for dropping in, and we'll see you next time.